2008 BMW M3 6-speed manual transmission. A little bit of a rocket with all the right equipment. Now this BMW did have prior damage. The Carfax, you can see at no charge right on our website, selecteurocars.com. On the Carfax, you'll see this vehicle's been dealer serviced, which is a very rare thing to see. The customers who own this vehicle were paying the money to have it properly maintained. What was damaged? The former owner is telling us the hood, the fenders, core support. None of that is terribly structural, and it was repaired years ago. But New York State puts a tag on the VIN, they call it branded, and the title shows prior salvage. That means it's going to be very difficult to finance the vehicle. Usually our customers, if we ever have a trade with prior damage like this, you'll go to your own bank, and if you have decent banking relationship and decent credit, it usually isn't that big of a problem. We have banks that we work with, we'd be happy to try, but again, it's going to be difficult to arrange the financing. Now this BMW does have some flaws. It's a 12-year-old car. There's an oil level warning on, not an oil pressure, oil level. And the former owner did take it to the dealership, paid for some diag. They think there's probably a stretched wire somewhere, hard to say. TPMS is tire pressure monitoring system. That lamp is on, has an aftermarket sensor causing that. There is some brake pedal pulsation. The brake rotors are rusted, but New York State, the pads are not metal to metal, so in that sense they should be legal. There is a code on an oil condition sensor, but the car does have readiness. And the oil is clean, that's a code that's stored. There's a rain sensor fault. Can you imagine? This car might tell you if it's raining out or something silly like that. The tires, they're at the wear bars, but those who like to drive a car hard know they don't want a whole lot of tread. On the racetrack, you run the tires down, that gives you better traction. The front bumper, the fitment is slightly off. Again, we know it had some front end damage. There's some RTV on the transmission oil drain plug. There's a slight oil leak at the valve cover. Now this does have cat back aftermarket exhaust. You got the carbon lower lip on the front bumper. So it's definitely had some mods. Obviously the wheels are painted, and of course it has the wrap. This was a silver BMW. Somebody wanted the black wrap on this M3. Pretty unique automobile, so let it have the wrap to stand out. Love that M right on the headrest. We've got a set of factory floor mats. We just cleaned them up. They have the M as well, so they'll come along with the vehicle. Love that M3 right in the door jamb. The wonderful leather throughout. The body's in pretty darn good shape. Looks like you may be able to control some phones and maybe the audio off the nice leather wrapped steering wheel, appropriately tagged with the M as in motorsport. The speedometer up to 200 miles, we're not going to test it and see how close we can get. But there's a power modification on the steering wheel. I mean, on the, yeah, sure. On the seatbelt buckle, power modification in the center console. It's got the traction control, you can turn it off. The infotainment, a whole knob with a whole bunch of different things you can do. This vehicle does have navigation. We hope you'll keep your eyes on the wheel and not on the nav screen too much if you're driving hard. Looks like you got a DVD, of course your air conditioning, lots of compartments, the sunroof, nice package. Coming around to the driver's rear, nice and clean, showing off the door jambs, the edges of the door. That's where cars typically rust out. Looks good. Waist height air conditioning, I believe on the floor as well. Fold down center armrest. Does have the locations for the child safety latches for a child seat. The wheels have been painted, kind of blends in well with everything being blacked out. Huge trunk. Compartments as well. And just showing the edges of the trunk. Yes, silver inside because this has been wrapped. Not just painted, it's been wrapped. But again, not seeing any rust, which is nice. Now we said this has aftermarket exhaust behind the cat. So you see those tailpipes, they stand right out. Just showing off some of the wheels, the tires. They're a low profile tire. 265 35 19 98W. Again, the tread is on the light side. It's legal, but it's on the light side. So for winter driving, you definitely would want something. You're going to want to buy some better tires for the winter. On the track, well, you might like skin tires without any tread. These aren't there. These have a bit of tread. They're just legal. We measured them. There's more and more adjustments on these seatings. Adjustable lumbar, you can actually move the pillows on the seats in to, if you will, lock you into the seat. Looks like you can move the, that's called a lumbar, underneath the knees there if you're driving a long distance. That helps a lot to be able to move that around. Huge brake calipers. After all, this is an M. Under the hood, that M Series V8. None of this 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder nonsense. Looks like a sort of stress bar on the struts. Advanced flow engineering. Getting a little bit more air. If you got the fuel to go along with it, it'll give you some more power. I don't see any of the EPA stickers under the hood here. That simply means that, as we know, it's had the front damage. Looking at the strut towers, they look good. So whatever damage, it sounds like the former owner was being honest, not terribly severe. The headlights look like they're OEM BMW. They may not have been damaged, or maybe they've been replaced. The right headlight is more clear than the left. The left should be buffed, so maybe one headlight was damaged. Again, we're just trying to highlight it all and not hide anything. Now again, this is a BMW, this is an M Series. Prior salvage is noted on the title, so it will be difficult to finance. We can't sell extended service contracts on a vehicle that has a prior branded title. But if you're looking for an M Series and you know about mechanics and you know about these vehicles, you could have an awful lot of fun with this vehicle, and hopefully for a bunch of years. We're open 7 days a week here at Select Eurocars for you to come and enjoy with one of our staff members. We won't allow this vehicle to be taken out just by anybody on the road alone. We want to see it properly cared for, as the former owners have done. Thank you.